We all know we're in the AI revolution space where AI being implemented in every business there is, and a lot of small businesses are finding ways to incorporate AI and automation in their life. There's a number one skill that I recommend everyone, like every single one, to learn in this AI revolution is prompt engineering. Don't get too overwhelmed by hearing the word prompt engineering, but it's basically just crafting a message to send a language model. Let's say something like ChatGPT, and most importantly, give commands. Let's get straight into it. In this video, I will give you a beginner's guide on prompt engineering, the 5 essential tips and tricks that I use, plus a few advanced prompt techniques that I use to build AI agents and AI automations. What are the use cases of prompt engineering or better prompts? One is obviously make AI do tasks effectively, giving you more time, and more time gives you more money, or more time to work on things that makes you money. Prompt engineering is the number one thing everyone should learn, especially in 2025 and 2026 and years more. We're already using AI in our daily lives and we don't even know how to use it. So by mastering prompt engineering, freelancers, entrepreneurs position themselves strategically, harnessing AI to amplify growth, creativity, and especially success. A prompt is just basically what you asked in a language learning model. Let's say if you're using ChatGPT, like most people are, and prompt engineering is crafting your prompt better so that a language learning model can understand it. The reason why writing great prompts is important is because no matter how good of your language learning model is, no matter how good it reasons, no matter how advanced it is, if you input a trash prompt, it's not going to give you a good outcome. So I call it the quality in, quality out. Quality prompt yield high quality AI outputs. So I'll be discussing techniques like zero shot, one shot, and few shot prompting. The AI's output is a direct reflection of the clarity of your questions or commands. So I'm gonna give you an example of how 90 to 99% of people does prompt. I don't know the math, don't come at me. But the way we do it is, very simple and direct, unclear, very vague. What I mean by that is this is how they say it. Summarize this article, explain AI. Give me some marketing ideas. If you're still writing prompts like this is the reason why this video exists. How do you actually make it better? So the typical summarize this article, the improved version of it is provide a concise summary, highlights the main points, and author's conclusion from this article about climate change. So as you can see, the improved versions here, they are more concise. They give more context and plus more defined goal or outcome that you want. Instead of asking ChatGPT to write me an email for my boss, here it lacks purpose, it lacks tone. Like what will the AI, in what tone will it be? Will it be overly formal? Will it be semi-casual? So a better way of writing this is act as my polite executive assistant. Draft a concise, upbeat, email to my boss. Let's say the boss name is Alex, asking for a Friday off to attend a family event. Mention I've cleared my task as mentioned, and I monitor Slack. Yeah, this prompt is great. This is already better than what we started, but in order for us to make it better is this. One is define your goal clearly, which we already have, is to draft a concise email to my boss. Provide clear context and include any essential background and for specific details the AI must understand. Here, we're saying that we're asking for a Friday off to attend a family event. And we want to mention that we've cleared my task and monitor Slack. And show by example, this is only when it's necessary. In this case, we don't actually need it. We just wanted to draft a post one-time thing. So Use examples to clarify your expectation, especially if the task is nuanced. Here, this is how we can make it better. We can specify the style, tone, and constraints clearly. Detail your desired tone, style, length, or any other guidelines or restrictions. These are additional notes that you say to an AI. Let's say, write it in a very short and casual tone of voice. Do not, I don't actually like this part, so let's say do not add any more suggestions about work. Just simply let him know. So this is exactly what I want the email to have. I just want a very short heads up to my boss, not being overly dramatic and be too formal and too corporate thing. And lastly, this is the post prompting. So evaluate and iterate. Refine your prompt based on AI's outputs and adjust for clarity and effectiveness. Exactly what we did here. This is us evaluating the prompt and iterating it. Here are some few prompt techniques to make it better. Zero shot prompting is just you not giving any examples to an AI like this one. This is a zero shot prompt. So asking AI to perform tasks without any examples. That's as simple as that. Next is one shot prompting. One shot prompting is giving AI a single example to guide its responses. If you want AI to write in a specific format, giving it an example is extremely useful. And next is few shot prompting. Basically, again, it's just giving more than two examples to an AI. It's you providing multiple examples to help AI understand and generalize the task. So this is extremely useful. This is what I use whenever I'm building AI agents for myself and for my clients. Whenever I am done writing a prompt, I always add it into a docs. So here I can store it and write it. This is a great way to template your prompts. So an example of a few shot prompting is giving examples. For example, I want the input to be this, and now I expect an output to be like this. The reason why we need a lot of we need to give AI a few examples here and there, especially if you're building a more complex task, is because the way AI works is how our brains literally work. Our brains recognize patterns and act upon it. The more examples that you can provide, the better it will do that multiple times, especially when building workflows and AIs. This is extremely useful whenever you want to execute this multiple times and still get the exact same result over and over again, is provided a clear output that you expect every single time. So in short, be specific. Clear details generate accurate responses and provide context. Provide as much context as much as possible. Be as clear as you can. So here are some advanced prompt techniques that I use in prompt engineering. This is for AI and automation and AI agents that I built. Or if you just want to be better than 99% of people and be extra as fuck, you have to learn this. So the 5 essential parts of a great prompt. We're going to talk about role, task, context, examples, and additional notes, constraints, tone, and style. So, get straight into it. The first thing is role. Define who or what AI is acting as to guide the style and approach. You're giving it who is this AI? What is its responsibility? Who do you want it to act as? To make things easier for you guys to brainstorm ideas on crafting prompt engineering, I made this prompt writing assistant that I'll be giving you. An example that a role that we already have is this: act as my polite executive assistant. That is already an example of a role. But to make it more effective is we have to give it more detailed role. Let's say you're an creative writer that specializes in short form videos. You're a creative copywriter that transform transcripts. So and I can even go into more details into 90 second long short form videos. So the more detail that you can give to an AI, the more it's going to act on how that role will be. So here I give it more detail as much as possible. I'm not just saying you're a copywriter that writes short form scripts. I'm saying you're a creative copywriter that transforms transcripts into 90-second short form video scripts. Next is obviously the task or the clear instructions. We need to state what the AI should accomplish. Example, create a detailed social media marketing plan for a skincare brand targeting women aged 25 to 53 as example. But in our case, we want to have it. I want you to create a 90-second short form video scripts for Instagram Reel that contains a hook, a body, and a CTA saying drop the word prompt. I'll send you the guideline. So here we're defining it. Instead of just write me a 90-second script, we're giving it more context, more defined task. So instead of us just saying craft me a script, write me an Instagram script, we're saying an AI to create a short form video script for Instagram Reels that contains a hook, body, and a CTA. And we get into more detail that must be the CTA must be saying drop the word prompt, and I'll send you the guideline. Next is context. Provide a relevant background or detail necessary to understand the task clearly. So in our case, let's say I am running an AI automation agency while also providing educational content for freelancers, businesses, and women who has no clue on what to do in this woman who has no clue and is overwhelmed with all the tech lingos. The goal here is to educate them in a way that doesn't overcomplicate and in a way that doesn't overcomplicate series. So here I'm giving it more context, right? I told him I'm running an AI automation agency, but also creating educational content for freelancers, businesses, and especially women who has no clue and are overwhelmed with all the tech lingos. And I'm also providing it a goal. The goal here is to educate them in a way that doesn't overcomplicate. So in that sense, you're giving AI more context of how it should write the script. And examples, optional but valuable, so you demonstrate the expected format or approach to clarify your expectations. So let's say Here in the set output expectations, usually, like if you're building an AI system or AI automation, you would want the output to be in a JSON format like this. That's a way like this. But if you're not building this for AI automations, you don't actually need to write it in this part. You just need to provide an example. Here in this example, you can see is I told them like the transcript is about learning prompt engineering, and as mentioned here, we want an Instagram contains hook by in a CPA, and we're just repeating ourselves here, but in a more structured way. So here we are telling must be a controversial take, and the key message of the video should be the body, and CTA is exactly this, so it shouldn't say anything else besides that. Next is providing it additional notes. So constraints, tone, style, include any extra guidelines to refine the output, like tone, style, length, or things to avoid. How do you want the format to be? Like in what tone of voice, in what style, how long? Silent tone, I want it to be friendly, casual, and written in a way that any 12-year-old can understand. Are there any constraints and limitations? Are there additional constraints or limitations? Let's say I avoid writing, avoid over. So here in constraints, are there any limitations or constraints? Word count, format restrictions, terms to avoid. So here I just wanted to avoid over complicated and terms and over explaining. Next is we're going to give it to an AI. Let's say, oh yeah, another pro tip is I suggest writing it in a heading style format. So let's say role. Just copy paste this. Task. Examples. And then here in the task, we obviously need the transcript, right? Transcript. Okay, so I got the transcript right here. So let's just copy paste that and see how this agent will. So most people say, yeah, it's not equal. Da, da, da. Let's see if the CTA is there. So yeah, it has the prompt itself. And yeah, I'm extremely satisfied with this output. Another extremely useful tip that I recommend you guys is always template your prompts so that you don't have to prompt engineer it again for the same task. So the way I template with mine is I just literally copy paste this into a Google Docs and then have it here. Transcript here. Now with those 5 essentials, you combine it with advanced prompt techniques. This is ideally for creating AI automation and workflows. One is prompt chaining. This is more of a step-by-step instructions of how you want the AI to accomplish a task. So here is an example of prompt. Here, as you can see, it's really advanced. I use this for my AI agent that I built. Basically here, I'm giving it a step-by-step instructions on how to handle conversations. So yeah, obviously the first opening message would be, hey, my name is this. And give it, number 2 is I wanted to address customer inquiries first, and then handle booking and maintain a conversational tone. So those are the step-by-step instructions on how I want this AI agent to handle any task that's given to. This is so that no matter how many executions there is, it's going to give the same result over and over again. So congrats! You're suddenly better, or hopefully at least no better, than most AI users. As promised, I'll be giving you this prompt writing assistant guidelines that I personally use whenever I'm crafting prompts, especially for more complex tasks or just brainstorming on prompts to get the actual output that I want the AI to have. So just click the link below for an access for this workbook. So don't be scared about all the tech jargons out there or get anxiety from the AI revolution. Is once you leverage it, once you can use it, you have the advantage here. It's not going to take your job. You're going to be more and more valuable the more you learn how to use AI effectively. I hope you learned from this video, and see you on the next one.